Oh, yeah, we are back and we are live. Just getting everything situated and sorted here. How you doing? Are you doing good? Hey, Superfan, are you in the building? Can I hear you? Can you hear me? Say something. Talk to us. We want to hear you. We want to know you. We want to love you. Are you there, Superfan? I see he's in the chat, but I don't know if he's running just yet. We are doing it large and we are doing it live. Okay, let's get rolling here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a short one. We're going to do a quick one. Check. Let's make sure everybody can hear me and everything is going well and everything is doing well. I don't have a guest, so I'm waiting on my producer to let me know that we are sounding good and that kind of stuff there. Hey, Superfan, are you there? Can you hear me now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I didn't push the join the thing button. My fault, and I'm sorry. My bad. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I apologize.
You're good, buddy.
Boomy. But man, okay, so Superfan's in the building. Superfan, how are you? What's going on?
I'm doing good, buddy. Just got home from work. It's been a long day, so.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
man.
you're all good, buddy. You're all good.
We are gonna do. We're gonna do a short one. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of news. Is the problem? Not a whole lot of news to cover lately. Don't know, necessarily what's going on with all that, other than from what I hear, and I think you were the first one to drop it. It looks like Abu Dhabi is going to be where 13 goes down. Have you heard more about that?
There's been a little chatter, but that's about it. So we're going to leave it right there. Hopefully this week, next week, we'll hear some kind of announcement for 13.
Yeah. Have you heard?
What was that?
Add the stage. Can you hear me now, Superfan?
Oh, I can hear you now.
There you go. Sorry about that. People were like, we can't hear you. I don't know what's going on, man. Stuff is wacky tonight with our production. I apologize. As you know, man, I do like 4 shows a week. Normally everything is fine. And all of a sudden, like I hit share screen and it mutes me. And I find that weird. I'm going to try to share this screen one more time. Let's see here. Can you still hear me? Give me a yes if you can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we're rocking then. Finally, thank the Lord. Thank heaven. Thank everything in life that is good. Thank God. This is wonderful. All right, rock on. Now, oh my goodness, man, what a hectic start to the action. But you know what? We got it going on now, and we're killing it, and we're making it happen.
That's
we're doing those things. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, sorry. I was going to ask you, do you have hot goss? Have you heard anything about the Power Slap 13 being moved?
No, we're not going to talk about that. We're just we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. I think it's more important that we wait for this one. I think with everything being a little sketchy right now, still, let's
we'll drop some hints because I mean that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure, let's just make sure we got this. So I think we'll have probably a couple title matches like we normally do.
Oh yeah.
And I figure we'll probably have 12 to 15 matches again, probably, like we just had at 12, so I'm figuring it's going to be a good event.
Absolutely. It looks like, and the reason I'm asking is because Luke Simons, the man himself, posted that it looks like he is going to be fighting on Power Slap 13 in Abu Dhabi. Now, I know he's not a title holder, but I would love to see him. I think people are ready to see him. I think he's killing it with the fans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. I wanted to show this one real fast for fun. This is off. Shout out Power Slap Memes. Power Slap Memes is awesome. This is one of my favorite they got, guys. Check this out. This is El Perro transforming faces one slap at a time. This is fun. Look at that. Ooh, that's a rough one right there. Look at that face right there. What? Look, he's got two noses. It looks like he's got two noses. Well, that's just a personal.
Oh, that's great.
That's an awesome one.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, man, Rodriguez is coming back. What I like about Aziel, man, is I've seen a fire in him lately. I don't know if you've noticed that, but, man, on social media and, you know, just kind of where he's at, and he's just really been amplifying his voice. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing there. Yeah, you know, just trying to let people know, hey, man, I ain't gone anywhere. I've done some stuff, but I ain't gone anywhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Excited about that. And let's swing through the news source right now. We did go to Power Slap, and they just have some videos up. So just a little interest.
I see something about KO Chris's sister or something like that.
Yeah, right here. The sister of former welterweight champion KO Chris. She, if she is awarded a contract, she plans to compete at 145. So I think they're doing a push right now to give her a contract. And hey, man, I'd love to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Little brother, actually, KO Chris, he competes in this as well. So last year I signed up for it, and you know, I wanted to. I'm currently in an MMA out of Team No Excuse over in Nampa.
She's hustling on that level. We'd love to see her do it. And then now there's another.
And became a world champion in my early 20s, and just kept fighting and became one of the top competitors in the.
She's clearly a big time boxer. She clearly was a champion boxer, and now she's coming over to Power Slap as well. I wanted to show her for a second.
World pound for pound. I started boxing at 13 years old as a kid. Had a little good amateur fights. Turned pro early. At that time, the Olympics didn't involve female boxing. I jumped into MMA and had a good time. It was fun. It was hard. One of the hardest things I've probably done. I boxed at 112 all the way up to 118. And I did MMA at 115. So I think that either 115 or 125, depending on where they have more girls or where the better competition is.
See, I love that. She's down to fight and wherever the good competition is. You know what I mean? So, and it looks like this, I wanted to show right here, man. What do you think about the fact that it looks like they're really focusing and beefing up on the ladies division for Power Slap?
I was going to say, I see Jackie's dropping down to 135, so that should make stuff pretty interesting.
Yeah, and she is a true beast. You know what I'm saying? She is a true beast. So I'm truly excited about that as well. Like I said, yeah, man, she's 100 on that, man. So, So do you have any hot Power Slap info you wanted to share tonight? Did you want to talk, you know, because here's the thing, man, I just feel it, right? As a fan, you just feel it. And I just feel like there are big changes coming. You can kind of see them here and there. You know what I mean?
Well, I know at UFC, this last UFC 314, Dana said stuff about still bringing it to Miami, and stuff was asked about Brazil. And he said he wanted to take it to Brazil and everywhere across the world. So
yeah,
let's see where this goes. I don't know if they're just having problems right now getting the license or what, but
yeah, you know that and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I am happy that it's going down. You know what I mean? And it is growing. There's just lots of changes, but it has to. It has, you know, if you remember, I don't know if you were a fan of the early UFC, but same. You know what I mean? Same thing. Had to go through a lot of changes. Had to go through a lot of changes.
Definitely.
And to get to where it is. And I think, you know, man, I'll be honest, there's the other you know, slap fight leagues out there. I know there's a bunch all across the world. I know it's huge in Europe, you know, that area, Russia and that kind of thing. And I love that. But you know what I love about Power Slap and what I love about Dana's vision, man, is that it's how do I say this? It's so pro slap fight and slap fighters, and that's what you're featuring. You're not featuring promoters. You're not doing silly sketches. You're not trying to push another business on the side. You're focused on Power Slap, and you make the fighters and the matches the biggest deal. And I think that's why they're maintaining and growing versus others. It's so important, and it's crazy, man, because it's a blueprint. Now, I know it's hard. But I think that because even though it's existed before, I think that Dana White is, and I don't like to, show all the, I don't just kiss anybody's butt for any reason. Super fan. I just think it's important that Dana White is really putting out an amazing blueprint on if you want to do this. They're setting expectations.
Yeah, he's taking his time, it seems like, to make these events. He's not just, we'd like to see him every month. Yeah, but if he's good, every other month, and they're gonna be good events with good matches, that people want to see, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Absolutely.
I'd rather see something like that than just an event full of trash matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's actually do something with the matches before we have them.
That heck yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. That is, and that's what we need right there. And I agree with you 100%. I think they should be, heck, I'd like to see them weekly. And I think you can ramp up a lot quicker, right? Because I can take most slappers that I've spoken to, and you've even spoken to more than me. So let me just pose this as a question, right? Because I hate it when people tell me my opinion, you know what I mean? Or either expect me to disagree or agree, and we don't talk about it. But I would say after a slap fight, a 3-round fight, most fighters would feel like, unless they got like cold smashed and knocked out, most fighters feel like probably within 2 months they could get back up there and fight again.
Oh yeah, easily. A lot of them guys, within a week, they're all healed back up and stuff. So, but there's so many guys. The last time I looked, there was over 200 people actually signed up with Power Slap, I heard.
That's it. See, man, it's going to be epic. And I think
to have that many people, you should be able to have more events. I know they just released a couple of these guys, but if they had more events more often, they'd be able to keep more of these guys in rotation.
I agree. And it's something to keep in mind that's very important to consider is that this is not like MMA where they're pulling full-time fighters from smaller circuits, right? They're not pulling a guy making 20, 30 grand a year as an MMA fighter up to the big leagues and paying him 200, 300,000, right? But he's still been making a living, or he's at a gym as a trainer for, other guys, and he can make a living in the industry. And then it's an easier transition into the UFC.
Exactly.
We don't have slap fight gyms. Most slap fight guys are working, and they're working blue collar jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wolverine drove a truck, right, for a while.
Yeah. Blackburn, he was a pizza guy there for a while. His gym's out of the garage, with that James,
Yeah.
James trains him out of the garage, and he trains 2 champions now. So.
Wait, I didn't know that. That's some good trivia. You're telling me Babyface was a pizza guy for a while?
Yeah, he was a pizza guy for a while.
See, that's why he's so. To me, that's probably why he's so. Same. I know Luke. You know what I mean? I think had like a fast food job, or a food service job.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that's why they're so cool and down to earth, because they're like, bro, you know what I mean? Just a few months back, maybe a year ago, I was that guy hoping. You know what I mean? That people weren't going to be shitty to me if I had a bad day. You know what I mean? And I remember being fans of folks and how much it meant if they liked my post, responded to me. So that's kick ass, bro. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Real fast. Very excited. Beyond the Slap Thursday is dropping a hot interview with one of the most popular fighters in all of slap fights, period. Right. And that is Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux, as we can see here. I assume people know when they see the picture, but you gotta, you know what I mean? Remember, they don't. So
exactly.
Some people are listening, they're not watching. So we got an interview. Now, this is a quick preview tease of the interview with Beyond the Slaps Terry and Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux.
The tattoo stuff done too, so that was pretty cool. I had that in mind long before I ever even won the title. Like when I came into Power Slap, I always said if I won the title, that I wanted to get the tattoo done. And then I seen Crazy went and did it. I was like, that motherfucker, he beat me to it. And so I won. I was like, I have to go and do that. So
Yeah, and that's great work too. And actually, I had that on here, but now that you mentioned it, who did your tattoos?
Adam Beatty does my tattoos. He's a local guy here. He's been doing all my stuff for the last couple of years. He's done a phenomenal job with things. So it's hard to, especially like in that line of work, when you find somebody that does a good job, it's hard to kind of, you know what I mean, try to go find other people. So he's done a great job. He's done a great job with that stuff. And we've been working on we got my whole right arm finished. We're working on my left arm, and we're working on my leg too. I got half of my leg done. So we got a bunch of projects we're working on.
Yeah, I feel you on the tattoo artist. I had a guy that's loyal. He's now with my ex-wife, so he don't do my work anymore. Anyways, all right. So, true story, man. Last one, man, and I'll let you get going. And this one's gonna throw you off because I always gotta get you with something random.
Okay.
Name one thing you would not want a fan to catch you doing.
Oh man,
It's a good question.
Yes.
I don't even know.
Hold on. Okay. So, super fan, if you were a pro slap fighter, what would you not want a fan catching you doing?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I can tell you unequivocally what mine would be.
What would that be?
I can tell you unequivocally, if I was a pro slap fighter, the one thing I would not want my fans to see me do is sharts. Okay?
That'd be true. Yeah.
Like you're out at the club, you've eaten big steaks, you know what I mean? You're having a great time. It's late, you know what I mean? And you feel a little rumbling in your stomach, and you think it's gonna be one thing, but it's another. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I can say that unequivocally. I would not want to be, because how do you come back from that?
You don't.
You don't.
You
You don't. Fair. All right, let's check this out. What? So sharding for me, and I think you're saying the same, right? Sharding would be our
I'd
number
go
one.
with that one. That's a good one, man.
Because I mean, yeah, you're like, I didn't mean to do this, but you're stuck, and then you're in public, and who carries a change of pants in public? Nobody.
Exactly.
All right, let's check this out.
That's a good. You kind of stumped me. You kind of stumped me with that one, really.
Say sharding, but
That time.
say
I'm
sharding.
not 100% sure, you know, because like I said, I tried to.
You don't get to know until Thursday.
He leaves us hanging on that one.
They did, man. They did. And just real fast cruising through here, there are a lot of new and young prospects that Beyond
Yes,
the
sir.
Slap is getting first crack at talking to. They're in Vegas right now. They're doing this thing. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
they were there a couple weeks ago doing some training with the Wolverine and Blackburn again.
Yeah, I saw some of that. And we're getting some great interviews. You know what I mean? We're getting some great interviews.
Now, do you prefer to be called? I noticed your Instagram is.
They call him Prince there. That's the one frustration I have about Terry's stuff is he puts it on IG, and so I can't fast forward it. You know what I mean? I can't like clip it and fast forward it. I'm like, please just drop it to YouTube or Rumble on the side. And he's like, I like IG, and I get it, but I want to be able to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm like, I want to be able to clip it up and drop it. You know what I'm saying? So, but all good there, man. Is there anybody coming up that we should be looking at that you think we should be looking at?
And there's a couple of them. There's that one big guy. I can't remember his name, but there's a big guy. He's a foreign guy, but he's a big old boy, and I think he could be a problem for those heavyweights. I think he was.
Cool. Okay, let me pull this up. Is this the guy you are speaking of?
Yeah, that guy right there.
Yeah, all right. So, Beyond the Slap, go there right now. There's an interview with him. He's known as the White Hulk by his peers.
Yeah.
He's a super heavyweight prospect.
Okay.
And I believe his name is Zach Lansing, training for the sport. So let's.
Just for you, brother. I got to tell you right off the back. Now, I've talked to a few people, and every single one of them have said your name first, and that includes Bryce Jones, Wolverine, and a couple of guys that train with you. Every time I asked about who stands out, your name came first. Just to let you know. But I want to clarify something. You are the White Hawk, correct? That they referred to?
Yeah, I guess they've been calling me the White Hulk, so hey, I mean, it fits, you know, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what everybody has said. They're like, man, you got to talk to this guy, the White Hawk. The White Hawk, man. Now, told me, apparently you do some splits or something?
Yeah, so I'm actually double.
Okay, this is what I love. It's just some huge dude, and it's like, you do the splits. He's like, yeah.
So I can do splits. I'm pretty into. I have a pretty deep kickboxing background.
Wow.
So I've been kicking my whole life, doing a lot of stretching, yoga.
Also, not for nothing, but if you're looking at the screen, tell me that these two couldn't be cousins, at least, if not brothers. You know what
exactly.
I mean? These two look like they came from the same party, you know? All right, that is some awesome stuff there. And we're about to wrap up now. Let's see here. I wanted to, you were talking about him, and he's awesome. And then there was one more thing I wanted to round the corner with here on Slap News. Let's see here. And that's Jackie Cataline moving down. And right now, I wanted to ask you this. I thought this was a great question. And I wanted to throw this out there to you. Once again, not a lot of news. So we're just, being fans right now, just kind of talking Power Slap for a few minutes, that kind of thing, on this Tuesday. But as you can see, we've got all of these beasts, right? I mean, all four of these guys are all beasts in their very own right. And so I got Pono, I got James, I got Wes, and I got Bryce Jones. Who do you think is going to be the first champ?
That's a tough one there because, they all stand out in their own ways. I think they've been holding Bryce back a little bit. I was hoping to see him up on the stage a little bit more than what they have, But that's a tough one, and James has been out for a while, but that guy has a hell of a chin and a hell of a smack. And Pono, he's a tough guy. Yeah. And Wes, we've seen what Wes can do, so... That's a tough one. I think until they start getting these guys moving, it's kind of a draw. But I think it could be Pono or James, really, to be honestly.
I agree. Honestly, to me. All right, so this is that segment there.
That's nothing against Bryce or Wes at all, Like, them two have a hell of a chance, too. But I just see they would be pushing Pono or James, I think, a little bit more than the other two.
Yeah. And Amy says she doesn't want to see one of our chat. I don't want to see anybody watch me short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is fair. No one wants to see anybody short. But so that was just a quick chat drop. Okay. I hear you. I think, right? And here I am just going to be honest, right? Mm-hmm. I think Pono will probably get the next. Okay, so kind of.
Yeah, I think
Pono will get the next chance to be champ, right? Like they're going to give him, of the four, he's going to get the next opportunity to fight for the belt of the four.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's better or worse. Calm down, folks. I'm not saying he's better or worse than anybody else. I just think that for what Power Slap sees in him and his consistency, and, a lot of this, let's be honest, right? I mean, Superfan, we can be honest and just say a lot of this has to do with what you're bringing right now. If you're bringing a bigger audience and you're as good as if there's two guys, right? You got guy A, guy B. Guy B is just as good as guy A. They both will put on a great show, but guy A is bringing a few thousand more fans to it. They're probably at this juncture going to give guy A the opportunity. Yeah.
Exactly. That's just kind of like the welterweight right now. There's not really much of a challenger right now, but to see what they have done, it seems like they want Azel to be that guy for that belt, the next chance for that belt. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, but it's, to me, fair, right?
Yeah.
But Azel kind of deserves another shot, in my opinion.
He does, but it's kind of like, though, then you go up to the middleweight, Brandon, he's out for 6 months. But then who's going to be his opponent next? Are they going to go back with Isaiah, or are they going to go with one of the newer guys that have been moving up the ranks?
Wait, Brandon's out for 6 months?
Yeah, with a broken nose.
Yeah. But I didn't know that was going to keep him out for 6.
Yeah. I think I heard something about 6 months or so. It'd be like August before he could come back or something like that.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
I wanted to show too, real fast, in an effort to continue improving safety and slap technique, we, the officials, along with the Power Slap team, continue to hold training sessions for the athletes. Just as we saw in our last show, these sessions are invaluable for our athletes and definitely improve the safety and quality of our events. We will continue to train both our athletes and officials, and that comes from the man himself, Mark Smith. Can I get a little? And a little for Mark Smith. You know what I mean? He's a big timer. He's amazing. You know what I mean? And I love this because it shows, because to me, the most disappointing thing is a match where it's just foul.
Exactly.
Foul. You know what I'm saying?
It's good that these referees are going into these training camps too, because they've made some pretty bad calls too. So this is going to help them out with better calls, being able to watch and train with these guys to see how each guy or gal swings or stands or defends or all that. You know, that's very important to the sport, you know, that them referees know how each athlete ends, defends, hits, all that.
Absolutely. It's once again, man, I love the fact that they're just focusing on doing more quality in the sport. You know what I mean? So, and speaking of the 4, this is interesting. You already know about this. Maybe not everybody does, but Wes Mina and the Hawaiian Assassin, they have some real beef. They have some legit beef, you know, and the fact that they're in the same class and probably, and man, both of them want that belt. I bet they wake up in the morning both just like, I want that belt. You know what I mean? Give me that belt.
I've seen this, and I've seen both sides of this, and I'm going to tell you right now, this would be a good #1 contender match.
Because Wes Mena decides to get inflated in his head, and at this moment, he wants to talk smack. He wants to do all these other things on the back end. He's had my name in his mouth for quite some time now. That's reality. I mean, almost every single interview that we've heard from Wes Mena, my name always comes up. And that's just funny to me, you know, from a brotherhood standpoint, that you continue to include me into that. I get it, that it's part of the competition and we're out there to compete, do everything else. I understand. But when you call me brother and then you go behind my back and you stab me in the back, you talk shit to other people about me, and then you expect me not to have some type of fucking reaction, especially when the person that you talk shit to is my real brother. You know what I mean? That sets it up for failure. When you get to that part of disrespect, everything goes out the fucking door. And that's what's turning up right now.
Whoa, he dropped the F-bomb. Whoa, I can't believe that, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow, he dropped it. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, the Hawaiian Assassin, is not the kind of man that just drops F-bombs. He's not that type
of guy at all. I've met him many times, and I've never heard him talk like that until this interview here. So
yeah, he's really bad. And I guess Wes was talking to somebody else about how he does not like the Hawaiian. And I'm looking for that interview. I really want to find it. There it is.
My whole thing is, I felt like he was sensitive about what I said. I said DTP made him look like a child. That's what I said. It is not that deep. It was just something I witnessed. You know, when Pono went for a strike, you know, DTP, he ate it. You know what I'm saying? It was like nothing. You know, that's what I was referring to for the most part. And he took it the wrong way and decided to get on Slap News after I got off and wanted to call me out. You know, Mr. Boom, you know, all this, you know, weird ass shit. And, you know, to me, it's just like, you know, bro, don't block me and talk shit and then try to call me afterwards. There's nothing like, but don't call me, bro. Don't call me, bro, because I have nothing to say to you. And, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I don't, you came to me on that brother bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Season 3, I met him there. You know, ooh, I love you, brother this. He's doing that to everybody, bro. Stop. We just met you. We don't know you. Like, stop doing that. You know, we're here to compete. You know, we could be like that maybe after we fight. I doubt it. You know, now, no, it's probably not going to happen. But it's just like, I just try to, you know, I'm a solid individual, Corey. I like to lead with integrity. You know what I'm saying? I like to be a good.
Okay, so that's interesting, Superfan, because as you know, both of these cats, right?
Yep.
Really take a lot of pride in their character.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's something that, you know, quite honestly, you know, I loved Hawaiian Assassin for that reason, is that, you know, and if you follow him on Instagram, you know, that kind of thing, he is, you know, he's one of those guys who is like, man, I had a troubled past. I had a checkered past. I made mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I got right with God. And he is no diggity, no shame a Christian, which Wes is too.
Yeah.
But you know, he posts a lot of that. Wes, not so much, right? And
Yeah.
but Wes, as you can see here, is saying the exact same thing. He's
Yes.
saying, you know, my character is key, and you're lacking character. And as we just watched, you know what I mean? Assassin was just saying, my character is everything, and you're lacking it. So this is one of those, man, I feel like a hard slap to the chops is the only way to get this one figured out. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. This could be a #1 contender match, or
This might be one of the most watched matches ever. I think a
whoever
rematch.
wins faces DTP even, you know what I'm saying? One of
Yeah.
those matches. It just depends.
Absolutely.
But another thing I do want to mention, I think if this event is going to be overseas, I think we will have a super heavyweight championship match, though, because we have.
Oh, yeah, they love them over there, yeah.
Exactly. So that's something to be looking forward to if this is an overseas event, that we could see something like that. And a lot of these new guys, we see a lot of Russians and stuff like that starting to come into the sport. So,
And yeah, and you see them coming into the sport, and then as we just showed, man, there's a lot of prospects right now
yeah.
in
What
that
was-
super heavyweight division too. Yeah.
At Power Slap 12, what was it? 14 different countries or something was represented.
Yes. Yeah, man.
So that's huge. You know what I'm saying? That's massive.
I love that. So I think okay, so the two hottest, biggest match, and I understand there's the super heavyweights, and they're going to draw because they're big guys, right? Like monster trucks, the biggest, baddest monster trucks are going to draw everybody. But once you get into monster trucks, it's a little different. You know what I mean? It's what transmission versus what engine, that kind of thing, right?
But
So-
is it the bigger guys or is it the smaller guys that draw the more attention in this sport?
Well, see, that's the thing. I think they came out originally with, and I mean, this is boxing and pretty much every sport. So, you know what I mean? Wrestling, whatever. They usually lead with the heavyweights. But then as UFC and Power Slap has showed us, every bit as rewarding, every bit as entertaining and exciting matches happen in the lower weights, right? And almost in Power Slap, I would say it's almost more entertaining the lower down you go. And maybe not more. I think that's an opinion, right? That you could fight back and forth all day. But I will say every bit as good. Every bit as good. And I got to say, man, the lower weights are beating them on the characters, right?
Definitely.
So, for instance, Brandon Bordeaux, Robert Trujillo, Anthony Blackburn, all of these guys are super entertaining characters. And I'm not saying Damian isn't. He just, hasn't been doing much lately. And then Wolverine is retired. So, for the guys that, we're looking at, man, it's like Blackburn has great social media presence, love to talk smack, you know what I'm saying? Bordeaux ran up on him at the last fight, creating interest. You know what I mean? That kind of thing there. So, those guys, these, and then Trujillo ran up on him, and they're all just exciting, bro. Just these lower weight classes are just exciting right now, man. And they are killing it. So I agree with you there. I do think that match, I think a match between Hawaiian Assassin and Wes Mina would be one of the most watched matches. I think a rematch between Blackburn and Purple Hair. Sorry.
See, I don't think we should do
This is how
free for Blackburn and Manny. Would that be no two? So No, I kind of think they should let that cool off a little bit before
There.
we go back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get some more action for each guy before we get them back together. You know, because we've seen it twice. Blackburn's won twice, decision. So
No, absolutely. And it is 2 times. And, you know, and people can say stuff like, hey, the weight cut was off and stuff like that. But I do believe the rest of the division deserves a shot. And so many people are lining up for babyface right now. So many people are
like I
lining
said,
up.
look at Casper. He went out there at 12 and he won. You know, maybe
Yes.
maybe give him another match. You know, and then maybe give him a title shot or anybody. You know.
Absolutely. Now, for these guys, it's time to get controversial. I'm calling, and I know not everybody agrees with me, and he doesn't have a big body of work to look from, but I am calling out of these 4 guys, if he gets his shot, he will hold it the longest and be the hardest to beat, and that's James Siegman. Sieg Money, Sieg Monster.
He's a pretty tough guy.
You don't have to take my word for it.
I'm just saying, dog. I think Pono is the close second because remember, James beat Wes and Pono. Now, Pono had a busted up hand, and so he was fighting with his left, not his right. There. But James beat both of those guys, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay, so if this wasn't a power slap world where we really, really need the promo and push, you know what I mean? And Pono's got the heat on him, and Pono and Wes are going to have a great fight. You know what I mean? If that wasn't the case, James should be getting the next opportunity just via fights, right?
Exactly.
So, but what I think would be awesome is a Pono versus Wes match, and the winner fights James.
Yeah, but I see they're pushing Aaron pretty hard right now too. They have been so.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I think. You know, and that's the bummer is that James was sick last time. You know, he couldn't get medically cleared. But I'm really hoping he comes through this next one because he's a force to be reckoned with in this division, and he's just as active and interested as anyone else.
I kind of would like to see James and Dorian go at it.
Yes.
I think that'd be a very, very good match.
I agree. I'm trying not to talk over you, dog. I'm sorry.
I think it'd be a very entertaining match for sure, you know. They're both talented guys, you know. You'd have a season 1 versus a season 3 for the #1 contender match. So
that would be beast. And we do need to show some love. I'll tell you what, man, it moves so fast, right? But we do need to show some love to the season 1 guys. There are guys that fall through the cracks that are every bit as interesting and as good. They just fall through the cracks. You know?
Yeah. There's been a couple we haven't seen in a while. So
agreed.
We haven't seen AJ in a while. So it'd be nice to see him back up.
Yeah, where's Handspin? Where's AJ been?
I don't know. Haven't seen much about him at all. And then, you know, there's a couple other guys out there too. You know, the Water Boy. I think his last fight was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But,
and Minner's been like, hey, I'm wanting to come back. So love to see Minner back in there. So, and I get what they're doing right now. They're trying to create a product that is, you know, consumable that people buy. And then, you know, the big YouTube move. That's a bigger move than people understand behind the scenes. You know what I mean? That has so much more to do with promoting these fighters, getting them paid, getting them to the stage. And none of that exists. You know what I mean? None of what we're talking about exists with all of that work behind the scenes there. So
Exactly. So it's important that they all get that too, you know?
Right.
Because like you said, a lot of these guys are blue-collar guys that are still working or quit their jobs just to train for this. And I hope they keep doing the training they have been. Like, I think it's been 2 months in a row now. So let's keep hoping they do it every month like they've been. Keep even if they bring some of these the big names in there, you know, some of the season 1 guys, just go in there and train with some of these other guys, you know, to help everybody out.
Agreed.
But still have you know, you still have Anthony and Wolverine or whoever as the coaches. But I think they're doing pretty good. So
I think they are too. I think they're killing it on that, man. So and as we round it out, not to close it out here, I didn't want to go by your page real fast. I really need to thank you for taking For those of you that don't know, my co-host Mike, so he was unable to make it tonight. And last week we went an hour and a half, and we kind of went all over the place. It was awesome, but we didn't talk as much about Power Slap, itself. And so I appreciate Superfan coming on and us just kind of catching up, doing a quick one, an easy one, a fun one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we just kind of, BS about what's going on in the world of slap fights and Power Slap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And my stuff hasn't really been updated, but I got some stuff to show off. Hunter sent me his mouthpiece and stuff, so I gotta give him a shout out still for that. But that's very awesome of him to do that, and I got a few other things I can post, so that I haven't posted yet. So.
Well, man, and another awesome thing you post a lot of Vern White stuff, right? The card.
Yeah.
You post a lot of his stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm very good friends with Vern. I talk to Vern daily. I never knew Vern until this stuff started. But since I met him and stuff, we've been friends for over a year, and he's a good guy. And I like to post the stuff that he does because he does an awesome job.
Doesn't he though? Absolutely, man. And I'm excited. I'm excited because he's awesome, and we appreciate and love him. And we got a new little project coming out. Every now and again, you meet a guy, right?
Yeah.
And you're like,
exactly.
Man, this guy is crazy, but in all the good ways that you like to see people be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so because of that, and because, he's one of those guys where it's like, man, you just have to, you have to give this guy the right platform, and he will absolutely shine. And because I was interested, and because this is what I do, I like talking to people. I like digging a little deeper there. So, we decided to go ahead, and we're busy at nights. We are all busy at nights, but my man has some daytime. So when you're on your lunch break, and you're looking, guys, we're very excited because we got something new coming for you. And bam, here it is right here. The Nooner Show, Wednesday at noon with Vern and Mike. Yeah, we love it. We're excited about it. Now, this is going to be a little different, probably a little bit of a breakaway from Power Slap, more esoteric stuff, more idea stuff, more talking about art and art in real time and in real life, the way that wood and strings makes a guitar, the way that plastic and vision creates amazing 3D cards, how all of that works and that kind of thing. So that's the plan. And we are super pumped and super excited about this. We will be coming to you live noon tomorrow that'll be noon tomorrow his time. So that'll be 1 p.m. my time. But we're going to be doing it large. We're going to be doing it live. And, it's one of those, just take some time. Vern has an amazing past from being a musician to an artist to, you pretty much name it, athletics. And we're going to take some time and talk about that. See if we can't get him really rolling with his stuff and what he's trying to do. The idea of this show is to really build up that audience for Vern and where he's at and what he's trying to do and have some fun.
That's very awesome. That's very awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great show to watch. So
thank you so much, man. And it'll be recorded so you can replay if you can't listen on lunch is the kind of thing. And what we want to do is just kind of have that midday break show in the middle of the week where you just tune in for 30 minutes and we're just making you think and cracking you up kind of thing. So
nothing wrong with that.
Are you ever able to do a Wednesday or afternoon, or is that probably not in the cards right now?
I could probably figure something out. I usually go in about noon my time, but I can always figure something out.
Noon your time is, are you Central?
I'm Eastern.
Oh, Eastern. Oh, okay. So that would be 2 p.m. your time. All right. Everybody's all spread out. We love it.
I'm telling you.
Fans across the world, fans around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's like me and Vern, he lives in Nebraska. I live in Michigan. I never even knew the guy until Power Slap. And ever since then, we've become very good friends. And the guy's talent, you can see all of his talent, and
yes.
He's actually was posting some stuff the other day of some of his first cards he made. And he's advanced way farther than what he started out as. So he's done a lot. And
grown, yes.
Proud of the man, you know what I'm saying? Just hopefully maybe he can get something figured out and get some cards moving.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're working, as you know, we're working on it. We're doing the do, baby. We're making it happen.
Exactly.
All right, guys, make sure you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you go follow Power Slap Superfan 1 on Instagram. He's got a great account. And once again, brother, thank you for coming in, holding it down with me, filling in. You know what I mean? Because as we tell everyone, this is your show. So for you always get the pew, 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 pew. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, remember, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. This has been Power Slap Time. And if you can't slap it, it ain't worth slapping. And we are out.
Oh, boy.